Hello, everyone. Thank you for checking out this episode of Nerd Caliber. I'm here with,
I'm Cinnamon Ginger.
and today we're going to talk about your amazing Pixie cosplay. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. What can you tell us about the process of creating this cosplay?
Um, so you can't just go out and buy a Pixie cosplay suit. They just don't exist. So you kind of have to piece different things together. So I got the wig from Amazon, the ears from Wish. I got the wings from Spirit Halloween, and I got the costume. It's actually a Kitty Pride costume, and I got that from ZentaiBodysuit.com, which it's basically just the Kitty Pride costume because they wear the same costume in the comics, so it's easy to just do it that way.
Oh, okay. What can you tell us about the ears?
The ears, they were probably the cheapest part of the whole thing. I just found like they're just simple elf ears from Wish. You can get them for like $2 to $5. They're the easiest thing to find. I haven't painted them or anything because they're pale and I'm also pale, and that's about as far as it needs to go.
Oh, okay. What can you tell us about the wig?
um, this wig is honestly the most amazing wig I could ever find. It's my cheapest wig and also my favorite. I only got it for like $12 from Amazon, and it came like pre-styled, and like the bangs already came swooped out like this. I only really had to cut off a little, like there's some wonky bangs that was happening here, so I had to just cut that off. But otherwise, it came in pretty good pre-styled, and it's beautiful.
So the costume. Did you have to do any alterations to so that it?
um,
I've heard different stories about how it could be complicated.
Well, I haven't done any alterations to mine. It's basically came in as is, and it's just pretty much perfect as is. I know that Pixie in the comics wears these gauntlets on her wrists. And I just haven't had the chance to make that. So if I was to change anything about the actual costume itself, I would just add gauntlets to the costume. But otherwise, it pretty much came in exactly because again, it's the same costume, so I haven't really had to change anything for her.
Oh,
It's
okay. So let's talk about the wings. How did you construct that?
I found them at Spirit Halloween, which these are I'm still calling them a temporary wings, but until I can get some funds to get some higher quality wings, these are actually pretty good. They're the simple the type that just have the wiring and the stocking with some like a glitter with a glitter layer on it. But yeah, they're just a simple. But I had to get them from the Spirit Halloween because like Walmart and other places, all the wings are about like this tall, and I needed something that was a bit bigger.
How comfortable would you say is this cosplay?
I love bodysuits so much, so for the most part, this is super comfortable for me anyway. The only thing is that like this neck part, if I'm sitting down, it'll like choke me just a little bit. But honestly, the suit itself is really comfortable. I love wearing bodysuits.
Would this be something comfortable enough to wear at like at a convention for many hours?
Oh yeah, I when I get into this cosplay, I may take the wig and like the wings off, but the suit itself, I will wear all day just because I love wearing it. And it's really more like I don't want to take it off.
If you mentioned that if you want to eventually replace the wings with something else, is there anything else you would change differently about this cosplay? Would if you had to start over?
Using some of the resources I have now, I would try to. I was originally going to make the wings myself, but I just didn't come through. But I would like to shape the wings and make them more of her current comic book accurate, where it's like they're tall and they're pointy and they're more pixie fairy like. And then I would probably make the suit myself instead of buying it because I do like these shoulder pads, but like the way that they're sewn in here is kind of like a little wonky, and I would probably try to make it a bit more uniform and more fit to my actual body instead of just the medium size. But for the most part, it's pretty much exactly how I want it. It would be just like minor changes that make me feel happy.
I know sometimes at convention, people cosplayers that have wings have trouble moving around. Is there a certain technique or habit that you've developed to keep your wings in as good condition as possible?
It you really just gotta kind of figure out how to work them. So just you just kind of have to like hold them like close to you or like try to move them around. And luckily these are the cheap wings, so I don't feel as bad as like moving them around or just moving them out my way. Because if they get messed up, I'm just gonna go buy another $5 wings from them for Halloween.
Okay, okay. So why did you pick Pixie to cosplay?
Pixie is just she's everything I personally want in a character. She's half fairy and half mutant. So she's this bubbly, pink, sparkly X-Men character. And the X-Men are also they're my favorite group as well. So it's just like she's pink and she's bubbly and she's fairy-like, but she's also like X-Men and she's a superhero and she's super cool. So it's like it's literally the combination of every single thing I'd ever want in a character, and that's just I wanted to become her.
Um, when it comes to posing, I know Pixie the character is very animated, to say the least. What do you do to prepare for like for photos and things like that?
So as far as posing for Pixie, because she's one of the flying characters, you have to try to somehow do those flying poses. And so in order to do that, I kind of use my green screen and I take a picture of the top half of my body and the bottom half of my body, and because I can lift myself up with the bottom half if I use my top half of my body to just lift myself up. And I would just Photoshop those two together and make sort of like a mimicking of flying abilities. But mostly I do just kind of take just pictures of my top half and just kind of Photoshop them with comic book stuff and just sort of just usually do the top half.
So I've noticed that a lot of cosplayers are enjoying and using TikTok as a way of promoting their art. What do you advise for anyone that wants to show off their cosplay on TikTok? Should they think more about like music, skits? How do you formulate your content on TikTok?
Well, when I do whatever character I am, I kind of just think about who the character I am portraying, and then I will start off by the day before usually, so I don't have to. After I took hours getting into the cosplay, I don't have to take hours looking for videos and figure out how videos to make. So I usually plan ahead. So, for example, if I'm doing Pixie, I'll pick out some audios and some people to duet with that are already having like a bubbly side character. So I use things like if you've watched Victorious, there's this character called Kat, and she's this bubbly, cute character because like Pixie's not hasn't been in anything, so you can't really take anything from something. You kind of have to create your own things. And I'll usually use whatever bubbly creator or bubbly sound for her, or if I'm doing a dark character, I'll already have my sounds picked out. And every once in a while, I'll do my own, make my own skits, which is just usually either reading something from a comic book and making it into something duettable, or I will like pick like a really cool sound and I will make like a trailer. Trailers are probably the easiest things to make on TikTok because they're the short 60-second. You just got to put clips of you like either putting on a costume or getting ready or something. And it's usually fairly simple to do those kinds of things. It's what TikTok's made for.
So if a cosplayer comes up to you and says to you that they love your Pixie cosplay and they wanna make something like that, but they don't know where to start, what would you advise them to do?
The first thing I would advise them is that, again, you can't find a Pixie cosplay. You kind of have to piece them together. So you kind of have to be patient and do a lot of researching and just look through what her looks are and try to match that up as similarly if you were going to buy it. Obviously, the easiest thing would be to make it, but that's not sustainable for every cosplayer because I'm not even I don't have the ability or the funds to make suits from scratch at this point in my life. But it's you can usually, because example, the suit is a kitty suit, so any like of the kitty cosplay suits you can probably find. Wings are the hardest to find, and I would either advise to try to make them yourself. But if you can't make them yourself, Spirit Halloween usually has a good selection of wings that you can try to find them. And wigs and ears, you can get them off of Wish or Amazon pretty cheaply, and that's fair. But it's really the hardest probably would probably be the suit. But again, you can just find the kitty pride suits anywhere on the internet.
Excellent. Is there any other thing that you want to share with our viewers? Anything about your cosplay or about yourself that I didn't get a chance to ask?
um, I have made one prop for the suit, just one, which actually I didn't make it. My brother went to a Mardi Gras parade and actually caught this, and it used to be this ugly shade of red, but a couple of shades of silver paint, and I got her soul dagger. And this is probably like one of the coolest parts of it that I didn't really. That again, it's you kind of just have to find things, and you find things in the weirdest places.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. For anyone that wants to find out more about yourself or about your cosplays, where can they go?
On Instagram, I am at the Cinnamon Cosplays with an S at the end, and then but on TikTok, I'm just at Cinnamon Cosplay with an underscore at the end.
Okay, excellent. Well, again, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about your cosplay. It looks fantastic. And to our viewers out there, please be safe, take care, and stay tuned for more cosplay content. Have a great day.